If you're Nigerian or conversant with things happening in Nigeria, you'd agree with me that torrents of marriages happened in 2024. It was as if there was a thing of last to marry is a fool. We thought everything had ended in 2024, but 2025 couples are like, ugh, we are just getting started. So officially in Nigeria, weddings have gone from what we used to know to flamboyant carnivals. You would be sorely mistaken to think that these are just weddings that people are owing and screenshotting into their phones. These flamboyant events are shaping culture and redefining standards in relationships and marriages. So today I brought in a guest to talk about what exactly are standards in relationships and marriages. Stick around. So today we have a very special guest in the person of my sister, Confident, aka being
Confidence Johnson, period.
So this is basically Gen Z in action. So we've been meaning to like do a video together for the longest time, but we've not just been able to get around it. So today I tried to like drag her in. So today we're going to be talking about something very interesting. I saw a video the other day that Ebuka's wife posted about a certain couple that trended online. Did you get? So I kind of watched the interview and I was like, what's going on here? Like, what's going on? Because after then on TikTok, some persons were not like, oh, so person was like, oh, she knows her what and she got her what, blah 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 blah. And after some time I saw you make a video where you were not like, if he does this, don't do this. If he does this, don't do this. Yeah,
a lot of relationship coaches online.
I swear.
Yeah.
Even though that's not the topic we initially planned to talk on, right? So I now said that I was going to ask you your take on setting unrealistic standards for relationships in this generation. So that's basically what we're going to be talking about today. So without further ado, let's just dive right into the video. Okay. First of all, what do you think about standards in a relationship?
I think for as a person, you should always like have your own standards in a relationship, or if you're looking out for a partner, because like that standard helps you to like tick off some boxes that, oh, if you see something that doesn't work for you, this is what I don't want, this is what I want. And if it's something you can speak to your partner about, then if it's something you guys can work towards, then yeah.
Also, from your answer, the standards should be both pre the relationship and while in the relationship.
Yes.
So basically, pre it's like you, like being able to know what you want, what you desire from the person.
Yes.
And then
in the relationship,
it's like while you're relating with the person,
this is what we're going to be doing together.
This is how I expect you to treat me. If you don't treat me like that, then it's a wrap. Or I can't take it. Okay, so that's fine. I think I already answered what standards are, like how you expect people to treat you or how you expect to be treated.
And it's vice versa, it's for both parties, yes. Because sometimes I feel like ladies think, oh, it's just me, but the guys also needs to be treated right too.
So and we also talked about the fact that standards could be in before the relationship and while in the relationship. We know that anything that we expect from someone, that means it's realistic.
Yeah.
Do you think that there are unrealistic standards right now in this current generation?
Sometimes I think there are unrealistic standards, especially I mean, some ladies can tell their partner, this is what I want roses every day. And in some situations whereby this girl sees her other friend, your partner is doing it, and she now wants something like that. So she now start expecting that her partner should also do the same thing her friend is doing. But I also realized that like no two relationships are the same. Something might be working for this person and something might be working for other person. So I just feel like do what works for you, like what you feel comfortable in your relationship, because these are two different people for different families, and the same with the other person
too.
Exactly.
Yeah, so basically what you're saying, that being realistic is subject. What could be realistic to A might not be realistic to B.
Yeah, in a relationship, this partner A, their own being realistic for them might be, okay, every month we want to like, let's have a picnic together, and that's what they can afford. In partner B, their own being realistic can be, oh, every month let's make sure we always travel to a particular country. So just do what works for you, and yeah, that's basically it.
So that brings us to my next question, right? Do you think that standards, relationship standards, should just be materialistic? Because most of the examples we've even given are kind of materialistic. Roses, money, picnics, travel, and I feel like it's like I don't want to call it a menace in this generation, because one day I saw a video, one guy was talking about something very important. He said something. He said that one of his friends told him, oh my goodness, you're so lucky, your girlfriend is low maintenance. And he was like, excuse you. And why did he think his girlfriend is low maintenance? It was because the girl doesn't ask him for money, get me a car, get me hair, get me clothes, take me shopping and stuff like that.
Yes.
And he was like, that means sorely mistaken, because this girl expects me to
Do
give
it.
her quality time. She expects me to
Communication.
communicate properly,
Yes.
right? She expects me to show up for her in different ways that money cannot buy.
Yeah.
So I actually think that I'm the one that has a high maintenance girlfriend and not you.
Yes.
Because if it's about the money, once I have it, I can just roll it out.
Yes,
Just
and
give it
go
out
your
to you
way.
and go your way, like
And
sort
figure
yourself out.
yourself out,
I know one thing
yes.
about with ladies. Like I feel like even the wildest of girls, if you don't, how will I say it? Even most times you find out that those girls that are really crazy about self-worth, once the money is there and they're giving the money, they can take any rubbish.
Yeah.
So all those standards, it just looks like it's still tied to how much do you have at the end of the
Yes.
day. So do you think standards should just be materialistic, like financial and the rest, or do you
Yes.
think there are other aspects of standards?
There are different parts of standards, and it shouldn't just be materialistic, but because those things can fade away. And even if it's the reason why I started the relationship at the first time, what if the guy doesn't have money again, or what if the money cannot keep the
Many of them
relationship?
will leave.
Exactly. So I feel like there's something you should see apart from them. Just keep the money aside, because money can either stay or go. Just keep it aside and
They'll
look
tell
out
you
for
that money you kept aside, you have
bring
to
it
leave.
back. So the thing is that just like there are a lot of standards, a lot of things that are not materialistic that can be standards in a relationship. We have commitment. We have relationships that partners are not
I
committed to each other.
swear,
You understand?
commitment. Just
Commitment.
like
We
you are
have
there, I'm there.
loyalty.
Yes,
Yes, we
you
have
want to travel.
loyalty.
Okay, I just booked a first class ticket for you. You can go
Yeah,
and have fun with your girls. Like
yeah. They're
no
always busy with their
loyalty.
works.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there are lots of like standards that are not like when you, especially there are sometimes where you're in a bad state, you want to speak to your partner. Listening ears, someone that like that pays attention to details. I don't want a minute I tell you something, the next minute, oh,
You're like,
I'm like,
what are you even saying?
exactly. It's like it's a turn up for me. It's a deal breaker, or it's a turn up for me. And like, I love a partner that listens to what I'm saying. So I feel like these things are like some of the standards that are not materialistic that keeps a relationship going. Honestly,
But do you think that in this current generation as Gen Zs, most times, do you think that people now hold on to those standards? Okay, let's talk like girls now. Do you think girls hold on to those standards now?
they are not materialistic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think.
Do you think that it's still a standard? Of course, everybody likes to be when their partner is committed, loyal. So there's a difference between liking something and holding something up to be a standard for you.
Yeah.
When it's a standard for you, that's it's based on if it's not on the table, you walk away.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
But when it's something you like, it's just that you would like to be treated this way, but if they don't treat you this way,
It's fine.
you could still stay. Do you think that right now that some of these non-materialistic standards are still applicable?
Now, this period now.
Yeah, this period as Gen Z is like for the girlies, like for the Gen Z girlie.
For me, I want to believe it's still applicable, but I now feel like probably the materialistic part is higher now, but those other standards that are not materialistic are still in the picture.
The thing is that for someone like me, guy, maybe I'm different, or maybe because I'm millennial escape. I feel like I'm not saying I don't like materialistic stuff. Like for me, like if a guy is even sending me roses every day, I feel like I'll suspect the guy. Like, don't you have a job? Of course, it might look like, oh, he's so intentional about. I'm like, yo, like, nah, it's way more like,
Yes.
get me a house. Are you know doing something in your life? You get, of course, if it's like celebrations or maybe once in a while surprise, but for me to like expect the guy every day get me roses and stuff, like I'll just feel like you're being fake. I don't know if maybe it's like unhealthy is an unhealthy thought, but I just feel like you're being fake. So now it takes me to my next question. Do you think that people's standards should differ? You know how they say I'm a 10, like this girl is a 10, you know, this kind of stuff. I know that God created all of us equally, right? But you know how they always say all animals are equal, but some are more equal than others, right? So do you think that
Standards should differ?
Like there's a level you see that you are in now, and you
Yeah.
feel like I shouldn't have this kind of standard, and there's how do I even explain it? Okay, let's say a billionaire's daughter, it's like I can't go to date. I can't go to a date. If it's not a 5-star hotel or Michelin restaurant,
Yes.
you get. And then someone that is like trying to just getting by life, and not even like a millionaire's daughter.
Yeah.
You're also trying to say I can't go to a date unless it's a 5-star hotel or Michelin restaurant. Do you think that maybe our financial capacity, educational capacity, or whatever capacity should determine the standards we have we set for ourselves? Or do you think you can just be, even if you're a pauper, even if you're a low life and underdog, you can just still be delulu and set certain standards for yourself? What do you think?
I mean, a girl is allowed to dream. I mean, a girl can always dream.
Yeah.
But the thing is that I feel like these men, like they know who to do these things for. They see
Period.
through you. That's the thing.
Period.
Like
They know what
you
you can
can't, yeah,
afford.
you can't honestly, like, no matter how much you try, you can't honestly fake it. That's the thing. So
True.
I think if you want to be treated that way, are you also working
Towards
towards
being in that level,
exactly?
even if you're not there
Yeah,
yet, like
exactly.
is the potential there?
Yes, and also, are you someone that can also treat your partner that
That's
way you
way
want to be treated?
exactly. Are you the singlet and boxers kind of person? The finish buying
So,
Lamborghini for you, then you don't buy singlet and boxers. Damn it!
I
See,
mean,
just like she said, these men know these things. Like they know.
yeah.
Of course, there are people that you meet and they'll still feel like they know that you are here, and they still on their own decide to take you here.
Oh,
I'm not saying those
yes,
things, especially in Nollywood, you get
yes.
where
It happens in
prince.
real life
I'm not saying it
too.
doesn't happen, but it just may happens more in Nollywood, where the prince will see a maid and decide to marry the maid and stuff like that. It
Yeah.
happens, right? I'm not even disputing that, but I'm just saying that when you're setting standards, it should just be let it be
Let
first
it
that
be
you can treat
reasonable
yourself like
that
that.
way.
Do you get? I feel like that just like you see, we both agree that standards should be subjective,
Yes.
meaning that it should apply to each person per person, right?
I honestly feel like your standards, you don't even need to say it out. The way
It
you
to be
look,
obvious. It to be
it
obvious. It
shows.
shows aura.
It shows.
That aura,
It
it's
shows.
true. That's why we
So,
say steez now. Like
yeah.
you can't buy it. Like
Yeah,
there's just a way
it's
somebody will
there.
be.
It's there. So, like, you don't even need to say it. Like, or everybody, like, if someone looks at you, they'll be like, okay,
This person
this
is at this
girl,
level. I should
yes,
place her. I should keep her in
yes.
that level
So,
or take her to a higher
yeah,
level.
it,
So
it
some of those
literally
things
just
that
shows in
I
you.
cannot do
So,
this. A man that cannot do this. I cannot do
yeah.
this. And that can, even the men that can afford to buy those things know if you are worth it.
Yes.
Of course, everybody is worth it. To get my
Yeah.
point, but if you are worth it,
Yeah.
you get yeah. So that's the thing.
So
So
also, if you want those standards, start treating yourself that way. So
and start working towards
towards
affording those things. So let it not be
yes,
that you cross your hand because you think you have like a flashy Instagram page. Speaking of Instagram pages, I remember having a conversation with one of my friends and she said something very interesting. She said that social media is really, really deceiving a lot of girls this
yeah,
period. Not in the sense that in the typical or regular way we think that social media deceives girls. Because she was just saying like sometimes maybe we could just go to one flashy place,
yeah,
do a good makeup, take pictures, they're looking really flashy and expensive, all put together. And all of a sudden, you now feel like, okay, somebody that has their stuff going on
for them.
is not your level. Do you get? You now feel like, I'm only for billionaires. Like the heck, like that's like the highest form of the
How
Lulu.
many times are you going to see a billionaire
Exactly. And
in
how many
real
billionaires
life?
will even be interested in you? And
What's not those people? They are in their
in their
circle,
circle, like if you're not one, you're
so
not
you really
one.
have to work hard to also be
So
in
to
that circle.
penetrate,
So,
and even when you penetrate their circle, they know when
yeah,
you're actually on their level,
yes,
and they know when you're just like a plus one or a stick around.
mm-hmm.
So the girl was just saying that thing that a lot of ladies are no longer getting married because of that thing because there's just this unrealistic expectation. Look at Priscilla now, how she met Juma Jukes. They had how many weddings, like up to 10 weddings, right? So a lot of ladies are now like, I know my worth. This. Even that other girl that was talking about knowing her worth, and flew to France to have a wedding, everything. So there are a lot of girls that now cross the legs, and the girl usually gives. I had she gives relationship advice on TikTok, right? Know your worth. I blocked him 4 times, and he still married me. Girl, you ain't her. Like the fact that she did that thing, you don't know what that guy was looking at and decided to stick around. There are things that people look at and be like, you are worth the chase. And there are things that people look at you and be like, my friend, go and sit down. Is that thing of even you is saw also among the prophets. I'm not saying you should look down on yourself. I'm not saying you should have an unhealthy self-esteem. But I just feel like know your level and act accordingly. Of course, you can dream, just like you say, a girl is allowed to dream, right?
Yeah.
But let it just be that it's a dream or and you're working towards making it a reality. Not that it's still a dream. And then you're not using to set standards for yourself because they're going to be freaking unrealistic.
Yeah.
And then moving on, apart from the materialistic aspects of standard, the next aspect I'm actually now also looking at is also even the behavioral standards. Actually, even as Christians, like sometimes we Christian girls, like we have unrealistic standards where we are like, oh, he has to be able to play for 6 hours, he has to be able to do this. I remember one girl I was mentoring at some point, she was not like, can he pray for 6 hours? Can he pray in tongues? I was like, girl, are you okay? Like, are you looking for a husband or a priest? Why is that your first standard in choosing a spouse?
Yeah.
And
A life partner.
Exactly. And what she was not talking to me about was kind of related to like, heartbreak and stuff. And I was like, that's the problem. Because this is how you are choosing. You are going to get them, but will their characters, will they have
Will
the
it sustain
fruits?
you?
Exactly. They have the gifts, but will they have the And after talking to her, like, she was so happy and now she's happily married. So what I'm trying to say is that with respect to these things, there's just the way they work. Like the standard should be realistic. It's not you sit on your high horse. He should do this. He should like girlies, please relax. One of the things that happens is that sometimes you meet those kind of guys, right? And they now fake it.
Yeah.
And we now
Just
fall
to
for
impress you.
exactly just to impress you. And we
They
now
have
fall
failed
for
marriages.
exactly. And we now fall for it. And when we fall for it, maybe if it even leads to marriage, they do not bring out their true color.
Yeah.
Then sometimes it leads to failed marriages, like you said. And other times, you see that girl that was forming, I cannot, I will not, I shall not. They will now be like footmarks in their own matrimonial.
Yeah. I usually see the same whereby people say, "Oh, don't say, oh, this cannot happen to me because the way it will happen to you, bro,
Times
you're
two.
gonna cry."
And there's
Go and learn.
I remember when someone said something, said the person was like that the thing will not just happen to the person once, it
Yeah.
will happen to you twice, so that you know the first one was not a mistake. So, the summary of this video is that having standards are good, but standards should not just be materialistic.
Yeah.
Actually, I feel like standards should be more of it should be virtuous. Yes, our standards should be more of filled with virtue. Like they should be virtuous more than materialistic.
And
Of
they
course,
should
have
be
the
reasonable as well.
Exactly. Of course, have the
Materialistic aspect as
yeah,
well.
have the materialistic standards as well. Of course, I can't do this. I can't go below this, right? Especially when you can afford it yourself.
Yeah.
And then again,
And something else I want to add is there is something that comes with having your own money. You can always work out of a shitty relationship whereby if the guy is always the one providing for you, like, and he's acting a certain kind of way, you can't really work out because you're looking at something, you're being like, oh, if I leave, who's going to provide this for me? But if you have your own money, you can speak for yourself, you can always work out, and the guy knows that you have your money,
and
you always
can easily work out.
yeah, they respect themselves. So
It's true.
girlies, don't pay.
So that's the thing. So basically, summary of everything is that standards do not have to be always materialistic. Remember what I'm saying is that standards should not just be materialistic; they should also be virtuous, and then our standards should be realistic.
And also know yourself.
Yes, know your worth. You know, in this generation where everybody knows their worth, please let it be that your worth is worth and that it's actually your worth and not something to make up in the thin air and stuff like that. So that'll be all for today. See you in the next video.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Oh, thank you for coming.
You're
I really
welcome.
appreciate it.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you.
And I'll see you in our next video. Don't forget to like, subscribe,
and
comment, and share.
Thank
Bye.
you. Toodles. And yeah, before I forget, she's also on YouTube, Being Confidence Johnson.
Yes.
So do well to show some love to her.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment.
YouTuber to the core.